Jeremy, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Obviously, a very, very tough result for the team to take tonight. But I'd like to talk a little bit more about the first half and just specifically the starting lineup selection and the structure that the team was playing in.
Yeah, well, I think we're going through a difficult moment. But I think for the work that everybody's doing, I think tonight was a real good snapshot of the tactical approach that we wanna work on. Possessed the ball well, we dominated possession, we controlled the game apart from a 10-15 minute period in the start of the second half. We knew they were going to come out in the second half, and I just felt that we didn't, the little bit of lack of experience just didn't manage that period well. I think that the players that we played in midfield, the team selection that we made was I say partly forced upon us, but partly is the fact that we have so much belief in these young players. We have so much belief in the system we want to do. We want to dominate games. We want to control possession. We want to cause teams tactically problems, and I think we did that. I think the tactical plan in the first half, the players executed it fantastic, and like I say, just the 20-minute period in the second half, where they got a little bit of momentum. And I think the frustration is that for all the good plays is that our structure I thought was fantastic, and it was a couple of mistakes that have really cost us. And we're going through a tough moment, and it's the dressing room's hurting, and I take full responsibility for that. Them players are giving absolutely everything. They are performing to a really, really high level. In terms of what we expect, and I've told them that the performances aren't matching that, and they will. They've got to keep believing in themselves, and this is great learning for the younger players in the team and for the experienced players to how to handle these difficult moments, because life's tough sometimes, and at this moment in time it's tough. But tactically, I thought the team was fantastic today, and with a little bit more energy, with a little bit more fitness in terms of Aravina and Acosta in the game, I think we should have at least come out with a point.
Jeremy, do you have a follow-up?
Yes, I do. Thanks, Coach. After Velda scores the game-tying goal in the 79th minute, the game kind of devolves into a very back-and-forth, unstructured period, and Houston's able to get the goal just from a long ball over the top, the game winner. What is your advice to those players in those kind of moments where the structure kind of falls apart and the game is forced into a more reactive state?
Well, I didn't think at any moment the structure of the team fell apart. You look at the third goal. It was a mistake, which happens. So I think at that moment when the opposition are down to 10 men, it's about game management. It's about staying with your runs and sustaining the attacks and keeping possession of the ball. Something that we did. I think I might be wrong, but I think we outpossessed them in the game. Our chances, big chances, our XG was more than them in the game. So that was a real positive. And we had some outstanding performances in that performance. I think for the first time this season we had a structure, the structure that I wanted, the structure that we'd worked towards, the structure that we'd planned, the structure that we'd recruited for, and now we just need to get better within this structure. And we're getting punished for the littlest things. We're getting punished for not just being smart enough at this moment in time, but it's my job to make sure that the team are smart. And like I say, this run that we're on at the moment is purely on my shoulders, and I'm confident that we can turn the corner, because I see the work that's being done every single day by my staff, by my players. They're an incredible bunch, and I think this is a great learning for everybody.
All right, we're going to jump here to Alex Barnes. Go ahead, Alex.
Hi, Phil. Just wanted to kind of talk about the outside of the box goals the team is conceding through 4 games so far. I think the first game there was the Diego Rossi goal, the Colorado match, Hamza Ajedran, albeit with the deflection scores, and then tonight the second goal comes, I believe, 8 minutes after Houston hit the post from outside of the box. So is that just something that I'm seeing where it's becoming a concerning trend, or do you see the same thing there?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd be lying to say that we're not seeing the same thing. What I would say is that the Diego Rossi shot was a brilliant shot. The goal in Colorado was a deflected goal, so I don't count that. Tonight, I thought we could have prevented it. We do need to be better at getting out of the box and stopping those long shots. We're defending the actual box. We're defending the corner kicks so well. Any kind of cross coming into the box, we're defending really well, and it's another aspect that we just need to be better on. And I think I felt in a 20-minute period we sunk a little bit too deep. But there was fatigue there for Aravinha, for David da Costa. David da Costa probably shouldn't have started the game, but because of where we're at this moment in time, we had Bassett and Anthony drop out yesterday in training. We'd prepared all week for them two to play, so it was something, an obstacle that we had to overcome. But I think in the first half, I thought we controlled the game. I really did from a tactical point of view. And like I say, sometimes you get on these runs and things don't go for you. And I felt tonight that things didn't quite go for this group of players. And I keep saying that it will turn, and we've got to make sure it turns quick.
Alex, do you have a follow-up question?
Yeah, just is James Pantemis okay? That looked like a pretty bad head injury.
Yeah, he's I think he's getting maybe stitches, but don't quote me on that. I think he's got a bad gash to his head. There's no concussion there, I don't think. So no, he's okay.
All right, that'll be it. Appreciate your time, Coach. Thank you.